Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know who I am, igama lam ngu Babalwa wakwamqaqiso. And today we've got the one, the only, Mr. Mqaqiso himself.
I don't know what time it is.
Yo, what time it is. Welcome you guys to our YouTube channel. And now this video is proudly sponsored by Momentum. Now Momentum and UNISA have partnered together for the 11th year in a research report called the Household Financial Wellness Index.
So the purpose of the relationship between Momentum and UNISA is to bring the Financial Wellness Index to ordinary South Africans like you and I. It simplifies the data in a way that is easy to understand and engaging. So you don't need to be a financial guru to understand what goes into achieving your financial success.
That's correct. Now, Momentum and UNISA offer packaged research insights in an accessible way to help you and I understand certain behaviors on which could either accelerate our financial journey or de-accelerate our financial journey.
Yeah. So basically the purpose of the research between Momentum and UNISA is to basically give us an insight into the financial wellness of a South African household. How are things financially? What is the relationship that people have in their household with money? What are the many habits? These are the factors that can either make or break your financial success.
Now that's correct. Going into the big festive season, we all know as South Africans that we work so hard for 11 months of the year, and then when December comes, you guys, and December is only like literally 2 weeks of the whole year. When December comes, we all get so excited, and we do.
We the money.
We blow our money, guys. We blow our money in literally 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And when we get to January, we realize that, oh my God, we don't have any more money left.
No money for school fees.
School fees, it's school uniforms.
Money transport.
Going back to work, we are borrowing money from each other.
It's
insane. Like, there's no money. So guys, in this video, we are going to basically be unpacking smart ways in which you can use your money and smart decisions that will help your financial aid. We asked some of our Instagram followers to send a few questions on how to well manage your finances and how do you basically make a calculated decision in terms of your spending habits.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's get the questions.
Okay, so going into question number one. So we have a question here that says, if only one couple receives a bonus, how much of it should you spend? Or do we spend it or do we save it?
Okay, do you want me to try and tackle this one?
Yes, and then I'll go after you.
Yeah, I think the point of departure, the decision must be made in January already. What you are going to be doing with your December bonus. You need to have financial goals, right? Your financial goals and how far you are in achieving them for that financial year will determine whether you save the bonus completely or you only spend a portion thereof or you it. So you shouldn't only rely on the bonus for December or for whatever plans or goals you have for the year. There must be a portion of your salary that you save every month to achieve your financial goals. Forget the bonus. The bonus doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Don't rely on the bonus. So whether one person or two people get a bonus at the end of the year, a bonus is a bonus. That's what it is. It's not something that you should. It's a bonus. The word itself is suggestive that bonus on top of, So your financial goals for the year, sit down as partners, talk about where you want to be financially at the end of the year. And if you've achieved your financial goal by the time you get your bonus, you can spoil yourself and spend the bonus. But if you haven't, then you must put the bonus away.
Yeah.
That's
I think I also come from the same sentiment of the fact that a bonus should not be this thing that you look forward to of like spending? Because I know a lot of people say that I'm coming bonus.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna extend my house. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I think people should start viewing a healthy financial habit for me is that viewing your bonus as a bonus, like you said, because you've been living your whole life, like the whole year, without that extra income.
Yeah, you're surviving.
You're surviving, but for a good financial habit, look at that bonus as an opportunity to transgress your life in terms of savings. Like look at that bonus and say, I'm gonna pay off my car, or I'm going, because if you pay off your car, it will reduce the amount of interest that you pay, or you'll like end up finishing your car sooner. Or if you invest it and put it towards savings, then you are advancing your life instead of putting yourself into more debt. Because I find that a lot of people see the bonus as an opportunity to put themselves in more debt and also spend money unnecessarily. So my belief is that pretend like it doesn't exist. Don't even put it in that budget, because once you do, you're gonna not be debt free. Like you put yourself into more trouble.
More debt,
More debt, yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Question number 2 is, right? This is a very interesting one because I feel like a lot of young people face this.
Okay.
It says, as the breadwinner, how do you set boundaries from a family that comes from black? So this basically has got to do with black tax. And I see that it happens.
Not necessarily. I don't think so. There are people who are not necessarily black who are also the breadwinners in their family. And they have aunts and other families asking them for money to assist with kids' Christmas clothes and all of that. So I don't think it's necessarily black tax. Obviously, majority-wise, I mean, it happens a lot in our families, you know, because you find more often in black families there's one breadwinner or two breadwinner, and it takes care of
everyone else.
The entire extended family. Yeah.
So this person is asking, how do you set boundaries?
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe I can start.
You can start, yeah. Because she's looking at me as the person who's struggling to set boundaries when it comes to that. Like,
does not have boundaries. Guys, I'm a sole believer in setting boundaries. Setting boundaries in friendships, relationships, family, and in like so goes as it like may. What's that saying? So goes as it may. Yes, that's it. So I believe that it's very important for you to set boundaries because it helps you. It helps people understand where to draw the line. Because I've realized that, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah.
Like imali iyaqabanisa, guys. Iyaqabanisa, and I noticed that sometimes family members think that it's okay to come and borrow money and never return it. So it happens a lot, and you find yourself in sticky situations where now you know the person doesn't have the money to return it back. Like you'll be hounding them, and they won't return it back. So as the one, right, that is the breadwinner or the one that is in a better financial position, it's very important for you to have uncomfortable conversations with your family members to say, fine, I understand that I'm the one that is in a better financial position. However, I also have got my needs that require me to pay for them financially. I've got my rent, I've got my food, I've got my primary needs that needs me to take care of them. And if I need to advance in my life, I also need to put myself as a priority. Because one thing that I've learned is that those people that are the breadwinners end up being in the same financial position of their lives for a very long time. Because the minute they start working, they become the primary financial provider for everyone else. Of money say get that you are the one that's asked to take loans if, for example, like if there's something happening, like
I ain't taking loans for nobody. And that's my mom or my dad.
They plan but you don't know couch, but Russell's a loan. And then you're put in a tight corner to say that, can you please take this loan out for me because I can't afford to take it. And people clang. I've heard so many of these stories of my peers saying that I'm in this financial position, I'm in so much debt because in my family, they couldn't say no. In my family, like I was the one that was the first one to do X, Y, and Z. And as a person now, you're also obliged to help because you may have that soft spot. So set those boundaries from the start, like from when you start working, make it known that this is my financial obligations. Like people need to know that you also have your responsibilities because when you start, you will never stop.
Yeah, I think you said it all. You said it all. For me, I'll go back to the answer that I gave. Like, no, I don't mind helping when I have met my financial goals. But what I'm not going to do is to compromise my financial wellness and that of my family. To go out of my way to make sure whatever the case may be. But obviously there's exceptions where there's an emergency in the family and I know that like they can't. Then obviously as a person who's in a better financial position, I'll step up and assist where I can. But scholars need where it's not an emergency, it's not a life-threatening situation that you don't have a couch, magas, so I'm not going to compromise my financial goals and the things that I have set for myself for the year. If I want to pay off my car this year, I'm not giving you a single cent if I'm not close to achieving that, But if I have achieved that and I've got some extra, I can buy Christmas if I have the money. But it's also like what you say, setting the boundaries and don't compromise your plan, to make other people happy. And also bear in mind that, maybe abanye abazokuthanda family abazo-understand, but not ufuna understand all the time is one of the fundamental reasons why you fail to achieve the financial goals that you set for yourself. You will never be financially free and independent if you pour from an empty cup. So don't do that.
Yeah, I think it's very important to set healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
So that you don't accumulate more debt at the expense of trying to save your whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think we are aligned with that one.
It took us a while. Okay, moving on to the next
cup. You see what's left in the cup?
Wow.
You see, Joe.
Wow. Don't pour from an empty cup, you guys.
No more money. Pay it.
Moving on to the next question number 3 is, how do you discipline your partner when he or she is a reckless spender?
Why are you buying other shoes? That's how you discipline it. Why are you buying? How many Nike shoes do you want to have? How many Yeezys do you want to own? No. That's how you do it, guys. Next question.
One thing about my husband, he will buy 3 of the same shoes. You have a shoe similar to this. I don't understand. Or he likes those caps. He'll buy 3 of them. It's like, no, I like them. They're not the same. Yeah, but anyway.
But I think there are certain things, especially in a household, that are a journey. Like you're not gonna achieve them in one go. And I don't want to use the word discipline your partner. Rather teach your partner, how to ensure that their individual financial goals align with what you want to achieve as a family. For example, for me, if I see something I like I don't think twice. I was worse back in the days before the baby household. I didn't care how much was in my account. I would go for it. If I want the shoe, I'm getting the shoe, But now in a relationship, in a household where things must align, then you learn, you teach your person. And the word discipline, I don't think it's the right word. I think the right word, if you want to achieve your financial goals, is to teach each other and learn from each other's experiences.
I would also say having conversations about it, because I realize that finances are a very touchy and sensitive subject. It's very sensitive. So before you even go into the conversation, it's important to write things down and say, have a point of reference, so that you're not going in there emotionally to address certain things, but say, like have your pointers down and talk about them without getting too emotional about it. Like, and if the other person has got a warm hand, because they say like if you've noticed that your partner has got a warm hand, have those financial meetings and say that I think that we need to do better financially. We can't just spend money without planning, and we can't just like take trips and go out maybe clubbing, or can't just buy clothes unnecessarily if we don't have the money for it. And also as a couple, have your set financial goals. I believe that if you've met your financial goals, then it's also important to give your partner leeway to be able to spend their money, because at the end of the day, we all work hard for our money. So if the person has reached their financial goals, they are not owing anything to anyone, they've taken care of what they need to take care of here at home, then it's also important for the person to have some kind of freedom to actually also enjoy the money and not feel like they are in a prison. Because I know sometimes women can be very controlling of their men.
Sorry, did you watch? Did you admit that?
Because guys are like very irresponsible with money. Like he'll go on to buy a PlayStation out of nowhere. Like, is that in your budget? Have you met your goals? If no, then don't go buy a PlayStation. But if yes,
I don't have one. I've been looking for one for 2 years. I'm like, it's 20k. Like, I don't have one.
There's a lot of things you can do here.
The value, like 20k. Try 20k. You're gonna buy a toy for 20,000.
Imagine, imagine. There's no way that it's gonna happen. So write your goals down. Make sure that you review them.
It's part of my goals now. By the way, as a side note, my PlayStation for December.
For a birthday.
It's part of my financial goals. It's part of my financial goals.
No.
I've set it there because it's on budget. I'm so close. 25k. Got into it.
Wow. But anyway, guys, like have the goals, have important, uncomfortable conversations, review and review. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next question. Question number 4 is: would you advise a young couple to have a wedding?
Right.
As a guy.
No, as a guy.
Yeah, because we view this differently. Like males and females view this very differently.
To be quite honest, I think most men, I'm generalizing, a wedding they do it for their lead. I don't think we care a lot about the wedding ceremony than you guys do. For us, men are very logical most of the time in how they think. You know, if you're gonna say I must spend 200,000 on a party, which is what like it is, basically, I wouldn't do that for myself. Like, especially if I know what it means, like I wouldn't. But because our goal is to make you guys happy, so we do that. We throw that huge party and we make plans to make the money happen. But what if your wife wants it? I'll speak as a guy. If you want it, then definitely. But I wouldn't advise getting into debt, getting loans to have a wedding. That one makes no sense. You must have a wedding with money that you have, not a single cent borrowed, because after the wedding, life must happen. Real marriage, must happen. So they will now get it got a bit no chat with 200,000. It means your financial goals are not exactly true north. So so have a wedding. If you want to do a feel like a man, if you're not mad. But if I'm not mad, guys, just get married. You can always have a wedding ceremony in the future. Nothing's stopping you of using your 10th year anniversary or 5 years into your financial position, you're cooler fast to have a ceremony.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you. And I would also say that, like, for us ladies, growing up as a little girl, you always dream of having a wedding, like you're looking forward to it all your life. And it's also that whole thing of, like, as your mom, when you grow up, it's their dream for them to see you in a white wedding dress and all of that. But if there are no financial means for you to have a wedding, I believe that we live in a very modern society now, where I see a lot of young couples where they openly discuss that we don't have money to have a wedding now. How about we go outside and have a nice, cute, intimate dinner, have a photo shoot, keep our pictures, and then when we are financially at the right place to have a wedding, then you have it. And I believe if you have like a solid relationship with your partner, you can honestly have that conversation freely without feeling the pressure from any family members to pressure you to having a have a wedding. You know, like you can both come to an agreement that, babe, like we don't have money now, but like as the guy, say that to your woman, you know that I love you, you know that I want to marry you, but in terms of finance,
this is where we are.
Like transparently, we are not in the right financial position to have a wedding. And then the money that you were supposed to have a wedding, use it maybe to getting a place to stay. Because life happens after that one day. Like you go back to reality, and money, like lack of money, it becomes problematic
in the household.
Like when there's no money, money is very frustrating. And when the money isn't there, like you see tense in you know, because I so be open, be honest, and have the wedding when you have the money. There's no pressure. Just go side. The marriage is more important than the wedding.
You guys dream about this thing as kids. Why don't you start saving then? Wedding fund, like at the age of 5. So that when you are 25, if you meet someone or whenever you meet someone, you've got something called momentum, that you've been having an account with momentum where you're saving for it. I don't know why people don't do that. Because for us,
it doesn't work like that.
For us, but if you, if you as a female want to have a big wedding, why must you depend on who you're going to meet in the future? Open an account with momentum, start saving, putting little in, called a wedding fund. From the age of 5, if you have a daughter, so that by the time she's 25 or 28, 20, whenever she gets married, you just step into the fund. And the money is there for her to have a dream wedding.
I'm sure our parents are focused on raising us well, taking us to good schools, making sure that we're well groomed, then saving money for a wedding that they have no guarantee is even going to happen.
But you spend the money, the money is there. If the wedding doesn't happen, the account with momentum is there. You take that money, you buy your...
I don't believe in that.
you take your money. Culturally, they don't even believe in money, so wait about culture. You take that money, you buy something nice for yourself, deposit whatever, but that's an idea. Think about it. About people who really want to have big weddings, or as a parent, because sometimes the pressure comes from parents. If you have a daughter or a son, as a father, you want your son to have a dope wedding, open an account with momentum. Start putting $100, 200 rand every month. By the time your son turns 30 or whatever age your son will be, you'll have money. You don't have to worry about those things, to contribute and assist. It's just an idea. It's financial planning, it's financial goals. Because weddings is one of the most expensive events in one's life. So if you don't have to wait to meet someone to start saving for a wedding.
That's true, I guess.
In fact, I'm gonna go open an account for my sons now because I want them to have a wedding.
As a person,
I will do it. No, I will do it.
Not having expensive weddings.
I will do it. Yeah. I want my sons to have that option.
Yeah.
If their girlfriends or fiancés at the time says I want a big wedding, but my son says I don't have the money, Dad must say, don't worry. I've been saving for this for a very long time. That's all. Momentum. Sapindo Zam.
I want to be adopted. The next question is, what are our views on making big purchases and avoiding debt?
What would you consider a big purchase?
I'd say like a house. Okay. That's a big purchase.
That's a huge. That is a huge. That's not big.
I think that's the biggest purchase of your life, actually. Yeah. A house, a car.
Yeah.
Sometimes furniture as well.
Yeah.
Like furnishing a house or an apartment. Or a business. Some people now are buying businesses.
Yeah.
And avoiding debt. So for me, I can start with as an intro. One thing that I feel that we have learned in our marriage, when we started dating, we got ourselves into a lot of debt. In terms of like we were starting our family, but it wasn't like bad debt. I wouldn't say it's bad debt. It was just debt because we had started working, and we were not necessarily that smart when it comes to understanding interest and like avoiding debt, because we both started working, making a salary, and a lot of banks are like, you are qualified to do X, Y, and Z. I bought my first car, we moved in together, furnished our apartment, and a lot of things we didn't buy cash at the time. We were buying on debt. Like we bought our furniture on debt, we had kids and X, Y, and Z. So back then we obviously didn't have understanding with regards to being smart financially and trying by all means to avoid debt.
Yeah.
But what I do know now is that we have grown so much from that experience to how we manage our finances now, that I would advocate 100% to any person starting out their career to avoid debt by all means. Don't buy furniture on debt. If you are going to buy a car, make sure that you are not going to feel a pinch of that car. Like, your lifestyle shouldn't change when you buy a car. Like, you should still be able to take yourself out, you should still be able to save and still be able to do a lot of things. And like, if by all means avoid debt, the only debt you should have under your name is when you buy a house, which is a mortgage. And even when you do buy a house, make sure that you have enough savings to put down a good deposit in the bank so that the interest goes down and you are not finding yourself paying transfer costs, and then when you move into that house you don't have money to even furnish it and interest is busy chowing you.
Hey, interest. Oh, you paid 3 years. You think you're getting for when you go to that. When you see that statement, you haven't touched the principal yet. It's just every morning, every month end. The interest doesn't play.
It doesn't play. And one thing that I would say I've learned is that when you take out a loan or when you buy anything out on a loan from the bank, you spend more than 3 times more of the value of that actual thing. For example, if you buy a car, you end up paying more interest than the actual value of the car in itself. So please save as much as possible. That's my advice to anyone. When you're making big decisions, make sure you have savings. And when you pay for it, make sure you don't feed it, because you will feed it, my dear.
I've got a slightly different approach.
Okay.
I think people's financial positions differ. Some people can't avoid getting into debt. But there's good debt and there's bad debt, like you said. I think it's important to get into debt when you start out, but get into good debt. We had good debt. I think to a certain extent we didn't have a choice but to get into debt because we needed the things that we needed to start our life. But the advice that I would give though is that if you buy the things that you need on credit, don't work on your credit based on the terms and conditions that you've been given by the bank. If the bank gives you 5 years to pay a loan and you must pay installments of 3,000 rand a month, if you can pay 6 every month, do that, and then you'll finish your loan in half the time. Then you save so much on the interest itself. So when we started out, we didn't really understand money because we were still young, only starting to have salary. We didn't really understand how money worked, and I wish I knew about the research momentum and UNISA back in the days to study and see how my decisions that I make can affect, make or break my financial success. So get into good debt. Don't buy a car of $1 million. If you can buy one for 300,000, that's a bad debt. If you're going to pay for that car for the 72 months that they give you, means you can't really afford. You paying back based on the terms and conditions that the bank gives you. But if you can pay off the car in 2 to 3 years, you have that money, then okay, by all means do it, because you'll be able to capitalize by paying more so that you don't child by the interest.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you. And I feel like with the time that we're living in right now, thank God to this research that is done by UNISA in partnership with Momentum, we at least now are able to make well-informed decisions because we've got all the information that we need literally right at the tip of our fingers. So I would not emphasize this enough. I really wish that in high school we would have had a subject called how to manage your finances, because it's so important. It's so important for you to be able.
I'm sure Babalwa would it.
It's so important for you to be able to understand how to use your money, because that is literally the root of your success. Because we get job opportunities, and how well you do is basically determined by how you are able to best manage what you have, which is the money that you have. So for those of you that have got more and more questions, like this is also based on our own personal life experiences and what we've learned in our journey. But do yourself a favor and do go check out this research. Read. I cannot emphasize this enough. Now we even have YouTube videos
I was about to say
about
that.
people talking about
finances.
Listen to like a podcast if you're at work or if you're driving. Read and educate yourself, because wealth only comes from educating yourself about how to manage your finances.
I was about to say, like, the thing about education, how I don't know, the society works is that, like, they don't teach you about something until you have it, and by the time you have it and you haven't learned, it's too late. Then you fumble it, you know. So we wait until we have money to learn about money. You know, people think that, like, to learn about money, to watch these seminars and webinars on YouTube and to research, and it's only for people who have the money. You know, even before you have the money, so that when you get the money, when you start your first job and you get your first salary, then you know what's the best thing to do with the money going forward to make sure that you achieve your financial goals quicker. Because momentum, as the research shows, that there's a science behind success. It doesn't fall from the sky. Like, you don't just when you see people driving nice cars and living in big homes, they didn't trip and fall, into a big house. They made decisions. You know, they had short-term goals, weekly, monthly, which cumulated to yearly goals and to life goals, and over time they are able to achieve those things. So there is science behind success. It's the decisions that you make. It's you being intentional about what you want to achieve. It's your attitude about imali. It's your understanding about imali, interest, and all of that.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video about making healthy financial decisions. If you would like to know more about managing your finances, I will link down the link below to the UNISA in partnership with Momentum Research, and basically how you can read more about making healthy financial habits for yourself and for your household. Yeah.
Just want to say, like, the subject but the research shows that things are actually getting better in households. We're not progressing as how we were predicted, to progress by this time of the year in terms of how we are financially as households. But the research shows that we're actually getting better. So it's not paniki. Let's one step at a time, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and eventually we're going to achieve our financial goals. The only way for patience and discipline, for discipline.
100% discipline.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel,
do the right thing, do the right thing.
And subscribe. Until next time, much love from us to you.
Take care of that machangur, eh? Take care of that machangur.
Don't overspend and disable, please.